A very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us tonight on the broadcast. You're watching KUTV News at 9, and at this point, let's take a look at stories making headlines tonight. Senate terminates hearing proceedings against Kericho governor after 34 senators voted to uphold the preliminary objection raised. Kenya Defense Forces mark their 13th annual celebration today, honoring the bravery and sacrifices of their service members. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi urges county governments to collaborate with the national government in achieving the Kenya Kwanza affordable housing agenda. And in sports tonight, Harambee Stars loses to Cameroon in the 2025 AFCON qualifier match held in Uganda this evening.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
That's right, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Sami Okelo. Remember, this broadcast is also live on YouTube at KUTVNEWS Kenya, and you can engage with us, talk to us on X at KUTV_Kenya at Anyango Sylvia KE. We begin. Now, Kericho Governor Eric Mutai has survived impeachment after the Senate, after a total of 34 senators voted to uphold his objection to the impeachment. Mutai argued that the county assembly lacked the required two-thirds majority vote to uphold an impeachment that sails to the Senate. Dennis Munyi with more details.
It is now time to commence the proceedings on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Eric Mutai, the Governor of Kericho County.
Kericho Governor Dr. Eric Mutai appeared before the Senate to defend himself against the charges leveled against him by the County Assembly. The Governor pleaded not guilty to all the charges as his impeachment motion began today.
Governor enumerated above have collectively brought dishonor and disrepute into the office of the Governor in violation of Chapter 6 of the Constitution and the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. The Honorable Dr. Eric Mutai, how do you plead to ground 3? Guilty or not guilty?
I plead not guilty.
Kericho County Assembly resolved to impeach Governor Mutai with 31 out of the 47 members of County Assembly voting in support of the motion tabled by Sigowet MCA James Rogoni on grounds of gross violation of the Constitution, among other charges. Through his lawyer, Senior Counsel Kutv Kigen, Mutai has argued that the County Assembly's decision to impeach him is unlawful since it went against a court decision.
Abstract. And imagine that you draw a line at the point at which two-thirds falls. You would be drawing a line at the point at which you are achieving 31.3. Now, if you come to 31.2 or 31.1 or 31, you have fallen short of the provisions of Section 33 saying it must be at least. It is our argument that this motion could only have succeeded if it had 31.3 and above.
However, County Assembly Council led by Elias Mutuma adduced evidence to show that the motion met the two-thirds threshold. The issue on two-thirds gender raised debate, with Kakamega Senator Boni Alwale and Ledama Olekina of Narok challenging the decision of the High Court on its pronouncement on the matter.
As per the Hansard of that day, that constituted two-thirds of the members of the County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, sir, in his ruling, the Speaker of the County Assembly, in page 131
of Volume 1 of our documents, allowed himself to be guided by a decision of the High Court.
Kanzo Mutuma, what would you like the governor to prove? It is a scientific fact that 47 divided by 2/3 is 31.3.
That when it comes to the issue of 2/3, it is not an issue where you determine the question of a human being being able to be fractioned, but rather a scientific.
Dr. Mutai is set to appear before the Senate tomorrow, in which he will have an opportunity to defend himself against accusations raised against him. Then senators will vote to decide on whether to uphold or dismiss his impeachment. Former governor led by Mike Sonko of Nairobi, Ferdinand Waitito of Kiambu, current governor for Meru Kawira Mwangaza, Martin Wambora of Embu, Paul Chepkwony of Kericho, Murang'a County Governor Mwangi Wairia, Derito Gachagua of Nyeri, and Kirinyaga County Anne Waiguru, Mohamed Abdi of Wajir, and Granton Saboja of Taita Taveta have also faced impeachment proceedings since the inception of devolution. Dennis Munyi, KUTV.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, represented by Senior Counsel Paul Muite and his legal team, is challenging his impeachment on several grounds, particularly the lack of public participation. Gachagua's lawyer argues that Parliament didn't meet the required standards, as the standing order only allowed for 7 days to address the issue before sending it to the Senate.
The second in command, through his lawyer Paul Muite, despite failure of first attempt, continues to challenge his impeachment in Milimani law courts, claiming that Parliament failed to meet the requirement standard because the standing order only allowed for a 7-day window to address the issue before sending it to the Senate, emphasizing that the time was not enough to allow public participation. Amidst the court challenge, Chief Justice Martha Koome has formed a 3-bench judge, including Eric Ogola, Anthony Mrima, and Frida Mugambi, to hear the impeachment case in case of Gachagua's dissatisfaction by the Senate's pronouncement. In a bid to have the hearing fair and constitutional, the National Assembly set up a 4-member bipartisan committee on Sunday, including Homa Bay Town MP Peter Kaluma and Rarieda MP Otiende Amolo will represent the minority side, while George Murugura and Kandiyi MP John Malaki will represent the majority during the impeachment hearing of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Deputy President Rigathi seems to be sailing through the Senate all on his side, with all 4 selected MPs having voted against him. This puts him in a real bind, ramping up the pressure since he won't have any backing from the National Assembly. Ochieng Cynthia for KUTV News.
On the day of celebrating the Kenya Defence Forces KDF, Chief of Defence Forces General Charles Muriu Kahariri and Cabinet Secretary for Defence Soipan Tuya led the event celebration at Thika in Kiambu County. These celebrations aim to recognize and commend the efforts of KDF soldiers in maintaining peace and security both in the country and along its borders.
Cabinet Secretary for Defense Soipan Tuya graced this year's 13th anniversary of the Kenyan Defense Forces under the Lindanchi Operation Initiative. CS Tuya, who was accompanied by Chief of Defense Forces General Charles Murui Kahariri, launched a national defense book to mark the occasion. In her remarks, CS Tuya stated that today, as Kenya, we honor the dedication of our troops, men and women who protected peace and security, and express our heartfelt gratitude to their families and communities. As we remember our heroes who have passed away while enhancing the security of the nation, we sincerely recognize them and commend the team that prepared this national defense book. On his part, General Charles Kahariri emphasized the importance of KDF's work in ensuring national security, especially in operations conducted in Somalia, highlighting the successes achieved through these operations, stating, "Our soldiers have dedicated themselves fully to maintain peace and security in this border region. We commend them for their bravery and commitment." These celebrations included entertainment, displays of military units, and showcases of equipment, where citizens were encouraged to unite with the soldiers to maintain peace and strengthen nation security together. Rukia Hussein, KUTV. Rukia Hussein, KUTV.
Thank you, Rukia. Now, over 124,000 affordable housing units are now at various stages of completion and are available for purchase at the eCitizen and Anyango websites. This is according to Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi during the opening of Affordable Housing and Urbanization Week 2024 in Kwale County. Emma Mwangi with more on this.
Affordable Housing and Urbanization Week 2024 alias Anyango Week has been officially opened by the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who has assured Kenyans availability of purchasing 124,000 affordable housing units, which are yet to be completed. The PS, who represented His Excellency the President William Ruto, has said the government will be giving a remarkable progress of affordable housing since its launch in 2022.
The government is implementing the second phase of the Kenya Urban Support Program, KUTV 2, to support urban infrastructure and service delivery by fortifying urban institutions in 79 municipalities across 45 counties and ensuring that they are ready to meet the challenges of rapid urbanization.
Tabling the theme as housing the nation and empowering the future, Mudavadi said the government will be expanding the number of mortgages from 30,000 shillings to 1 million shillings by enabling investors to build affordable units and allow buyers to make payments for as low as 3,000 per month, therefore increasing the demand of housing. He went ahead to say that this week the government will give a remarkable progress of affordable housing program.
Over 124,000 affordable housing units are now at various stages of completion and available for purchase via eCitizen. They can also be viewed on the Anyango website.
According to Mudavadi, the primary goal of affordable housing program is to bridge the significant gap in housing market, while upcoming projects will aim to provide high-quality, spacious and dignified homes within reach for all Kenyans.
We are achieving this by leveraging economies of scale, mobilizing innovative investments, and ensuring affordability for people across all socioeconomic levels.
In attendance were several governors who were well appreciated for their collaboration with the national government in ensuring that the project is successful. Emma Mwangi, KUTV.
Now, in Kilifi County, residents of Malindi and Watamu municipalities are now breathing a sigh of relief as water rationing in the region comes to an end. This follows the completion of the 4 billion shillings Baricho Kakuyuni water supply project, which promises a steady supply of water to thousands of homes and businesses in the area.
Good news for the people of Malindi and Watamu, as the water shortages that have plagued the region for years are finally over. According to Malindi Water and Sewage Company Managing Director Felix Wanji, water rationing in these municipalities has officially come to an end following the completion of 4 billion shillings Baricho Kakuyuni water supply project.
Sahi hali iko mzuri kwa sababu tangu tumalize mradi wa Kakuyuni, maji sahi Malindi yanatoka 24 hours. Kwa hivyo sahi 24 hours maji yako, hakuna rationing tena. Wakati ule ilikuwa maji unapata mara 2 mara 3 kwa wiki. Lakini sahi wanapata maji 24 hours, yani kumaanisha zaidi ya 30% ya maji imeongezeka.
In addition, Wanji said the company is working with security agents to combat water meter theft, which has been a persistent issue. Mawasco is also partnering with Kenya Power to address issues of power cuts at Baricho Waterworks, which in the past has affected the water distribution process.
Wizara ya maji tumepata hizo ripoti tuko nazo na tulikubaliana tuliform kwa tume hapa ya maafisa wetu pamoja, tumecollaborate na polisi kwamba tunazunguka na tunapopata wizi huo tunachukua hatua za kisheria. Ile Baricho kwenda coast water, lakini tunaenda tukakubaliana na watu wa Kenya Power kwamba tukaweze, kwa sababu deni lilikuwa ni kubwa sana, tukakubaliana nao kwamba kila mwezi tunalipa ile current bill alafu na kidogo ya zile deni la nyuma. mpaka tukapomaliza.
Residents have also praised Mawasco for the good services they have provided.
Nashukuru huduma ya maji inaendelea vizuri na nihudumia vizuri. Kama maji yamekatika nikipiga simu napata huduma kwa wakati ambao unafaa. Kwa hivyo nashukuru na wapa motisha kidogo, yani nikijaribu kupiga simu wana respond. Kwa hivyo nashukuru kwa hizo huduma, waendelee hivyo hivyo.
Tangu niki maji sijaona kwamba kuna uhaba wa maji, eti siku 2 siku 3 hiyo area sijaona hivyo.
Tunahudumiwa vizuri na watu wa Malindi, Mawasco. Tunafurahia huduma zao.
And in a goodwill gesture to mark Customer Service Week, Mawasco has waived reconnection fees for indebted customers, allowing those with large debts to pay in installments. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.
Now that story by Brenda Nyongesa takes us to a very fast break on the broadcast tonight. Don't go far, we'll be back with more stories.
Katika maisha yetu ya leo, wakulima na jamii nyingi kwa ujumla wanakumbatia teknolojia mbalimbali na kilimo hai ili kuondoa magonjwa sugu na kuongeza usalama na utoshelevu wa chakula. Mbolea asili imepunguza asidi kwenye udongo na kuongeza mavuno chungu nzima. Wajua tuko shambani, na humu shambani pia kuna ng'ombe, kuna kuku, na wanaacha uchafu wao. Na huo uchafu si wa kutupwa, ni wa kutumika katika kilimo kama mbolea. Kwa sababu mimea hii imekuwa kutumia mbolea ya hawa wanyama. Wakulima mbalimbali wamekumbatia teknolojia ili kuokoa gharama ya ukulima na kutumia nafasi zilizopo katika mashamba yao.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu, pepo pani idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili. Hiyo inaweza kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
Welcome back. Remember to keep engaging with us on X at KUTV_Kenya at Anyango Sylvia KE, and this broadcast is also live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. Now, agricultural drones is a trend that has significantly changed the agricultural sector largely. The advancement technology, which is a key factor of innovation in every sector's growth. Being one of the leading precision agricultural company in the country, it has assured farmers with the latest technology and innovation will boost the agricultural sector for both small and large-scale farmers. Robert Washira, an official at the Kutv Pro, where people use knapsack sprayers and boom sprayers, is an outdated version due to the emergence of drone sprayers, hence urged to shift to drone technology for massive excellence in agriculture.
We are all about safety and sustainability.
we know our farmers, and mostly farmers in the informal sector or the small-scale farmers do hire hand labor to do their sprays. And with this, most of them are not wearing the personal protective equipment. And so we find so many people, so many young men who have been spraying for years, and they have been exposed to harmful chemicals. And so for this, we are introducing a technology where as few as possible numbers of the society are exposed to these sprays.
Now moving on to news across our borders, Israel's Prime Minister is urging UN peacekeeping forces to leave war-torn parts of Lebanon as Israel continues targeting Hezbollah. His comments come after news that recent Israeli strike injured 5 UN peacekeepers. Viewers Arash Arabasadi has this story.
Israel's air defenses light the night sky following a Hezbollah rocket barrage early Sunday morning. The fighting comes as Hezbollah continues hitting northern Israel for what the Western-identified terror group says is its support for Palestinians in Gaza after the October 7 Hamas terror attacks on Israel that led to all-out war. While Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon continue cross-border attacks, civilians seek cover in a bomb shelter in the Israeli city of Haifa. And in recent days, Israeli strikes injured 5 UN peacekeepers known as UNIFIL in parts of Lebanon, where strikes across the country have killed 1,400 people as of September, according to Lebanon's health ministry. The ministry does not differentiate between Hezbollah fighters and civilians.
This is a serious development. And UNIFIL reiterates that the safety and security of UN personnel and property must be guaranteed, and that the inviolability of UN premises must be respected at all times.
Israel has made clear in public statements that it's not targeting attacks on the Lebanese people or UNIFIL, but rather Iran-backed Hezbollah. Following news of the injuries to UN peacekeepers, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu both issued an apology and a warning.
הגיע הזמן שתוציא את יוניפיל ממעוזי החיזבאללה וממרחבי הלחימה.
It is time you take UNIFIL out of Hezbollah's strongholds and combat areas. Your refusal to evacuate UNIFIL soldiers makes them hostages in the hands of Hezbollah. It endangers them as well as our soldiers.
Parts of Lebanon have now been reduced to rubble and dust following Israeli strikes, a scene similar to Gaza, and one the White House does not want to see repeated.
We cannot and will not see Lebanon turn into Gaza, into another Gaza. That is not what we want to see. The suffering in both Gaza and Lebanon adds even greater urgency, as you've heard from us, to our efforts certainly to end the conflicts and lay a foundation for lasting peace and security in the region.
Meanwhile, Israelis in Tel Aviv took to the streets for their weekly protests against Netanyahu's government on Yom Kippur, the highest of Jewish holidays. They continued demanding a ceasefire to help broker a hostage release deal to free those still held by Hamas in Gaza following the October 7 attacks. Arash Erbasadi, VOA News.
We are taking yet again another short break. We'll be back with sports.
My name is I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Na uso wa jamii, kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ngari ngari. Mimi ni mwanamke wake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha Mwanamke Mwake Mwake, nami Caroline Kimweli.
From the hospital corridors, we bring you experts to discuss issues affecting your health, from diet to mental health. The familiar and the ignored are both put into perspective. We then dive into the environment and look at the effects of climate change and its solutions. Join me, Mutegi K. Martin, every Friday at 9 p.m. as we learn on how to better our health while taking care of our environment. Only on KUTV.
Welcome back, and in sports tonight, Cameroon has thrashed Kenya 1-0 in the AFCON 2025 qualifiers at Mandela National Stadium in Uganda. Cameroonian midfielder Boris Eno netted in the 63rd minute through a free kick. With his win, Cameroon has qualified for AFCON Morocco in 2025 as Kenya hopes to secure a spot with the two matches against Zimbabwe and Namibia on the 11th November 2024 and 19th November 2024. And in the NCBA Junior Golf Foundation, US Kids Sigona leg Mwathi Gisheru claimed victory over Peter Gathogo after both tied with a score of 5 over par 77. Justin Gera finished third, just one stroke behind in the boys 13 to 14 years category, while in the girls 11 to 12 years category, Mudhoni Kioi won her second consecutive tournament, beating Sikyuan Yu in a playoff after both scored 7 over par 79. Other winners include Suraya Bongu in the boys 9-hole competition and Amelia Sheikh in the girls 13 to 14 years category.
I feel good. I know I could have played better. This is the best course I've played so far. The greens were very good, fairways were very good. Not too many trees, not hard to miss the fairway, but it was a fun experience.
In the morning it was really cold, so I had a struggle with hitting my t-shirt. My t-shirts were not that good because I was feeling cold. I had no sweater. But on the third hole I started warming up and I was playing boogies and pars, which was nice. The course, it was okay, but I was not going to the rough a lot, but my shots, they were going straight, so it was fine. I was mostly 3 or 2 on the green and 2 putts.
Now that is it from us tonight. Thank you so much for choosing KUTV and for staying with KUTV this far. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Sami Okelo and Anyango Sylvia. Have a good night.